on, guys, let's go fishing.
Do you see any brim?
There's a brim over there.
Any kid starting out catching a smallmouth like this, Bob, they're hooked for life.
Oh boy, that is a nice fish. Hi, I'm Bob Jensen. This is Fishing the Midwest. Thanks for stopping by. That's Fountain Lake. Fountain Lake is in the heart of Albert Lea, Minnesota. Now, a number of years ago, the water quality in Fountain Lake, well, it just wasn't very good. You know, it just wasn't very good for a number of reasons. There weren't a lot of fishing. There just wasn't a lot of recreational use on Fountain Lake. But because of the efforts of a number of folks, specifically the Fountain Lake Sportsman's Club, this lake now has a very dynamic fishery for a wide variety of species. We're going to talk about how Fountain Lake was reclaimed, and we're also going to talk a little bit about the fishing on Fountain Lake. We're going to be here in the spring and the fall. Let's get out there. Albert Lea, Minnesota is just off Interstate 35 in southern Minnesota. If you've ever driven up I-35 and gone over Albert Lea Lake, you may have wondered to yourself if there's any fish in that lake. There are, lots of them. Mostly walleyes, but also some perch and crappies. There's also a lake in Albert Lea, Fountain Lake, that's full of fish. Mostly largemouth bass and panfish and catfish. We couldn't have said that just a few years ago. It wasn't so far in the past that Albert Lea Lake and Fountain Lake were in really bad shape due to pollution. I mean serious pollution. These were beautiful lakes that were being destroyed. Then some folks stepped in and decided enough's enough. They made a commitment to make these lakes something that the folks around Albert Lea could be proud of. Some area agencies and the Fountain Lake Sportsman's Club got involved, and after a lot of effort and volunteerism, have got these lakes to a point where there's something to be proud of, and their efforts to improve them are continuing. Today we're going to explore the bass fishing on Fountain Lake, and we're also going to learn about how a devastated fishery can be reclaimed. First, the fishing. Jason Howland and Lance Frank teamed up one day in early June to show me what kind of fishing Fountain Lake has to offer. Jason is a tournament angler who fishes Fountain Lake regularly. He chases bass over a several state area, but Fountain Lake is where he's refined some of his tournament tactics. Lance Frank is the vice president of the Fountain Lake Sportsman's Club. This club has been the driving force behind the rebirth of Fountain and Albert Lea lakes. Jason said the bite was going to be mostly a shoreline thing. Being the good guides that Jason and Lance are, they let me catch the first bass.
Oh, that's a better one. He was way back in there. There he is. He was way back up in there. Way up in that stuff.
Right up against the bank?
Right in the corner of that tree there. He whacked it pretty good, too. Yeah. He's been eating the right stuff, hasn't he?
Throwing mostly rubber leg jigs tipped with soft bait trailers. You can't beat a jungle jig or jungle bug for this pattern. They're both weedless, so they'll slide over and around the cover. A 4-inch power grub or a power hog are great trailers for the jig. Use a minimum of 17-pound test Trilene XT so you can get the fish out of the cover when they eat your bait. Then we pulled up on that really bassy looking spot, an overhanging tree. Jason flipped his jig into the cover and got a big bite.
Oh, look at there.
It's a catfish.
Look at that. Isn't that something? Oh, look at it. There he is right there. Look at it. It's a catfish. Look at that. That's a big catfish, isn't it?
Yeah.
Look at him up there. Jiminy Christmas. You want to net him, Lance?
Yeah. Holy moly.
Look at that.
Didn't
guy.
expect that one.
Look at that. Isn't that something? A lot of those in here?
Yeah.
Are they really? That size?
Yeah, and much bigger.
No kidding.
Now that's not really what I expected to catch today, Bob.
He hit a bass bait in a bass place, didn't he?
Yeah.
Look at that. Jeepers.
Now that is a nice channel catfish right there.
Yeah.
On a bass jig.
He fought better than a bass, didn't he?
He did. That was a lot more fun than catching a bass right there.
Well.
What a beautiful day. And the fish are cooperating pretty good. When we come back, we'll be on Fountain Lake. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Fishing the Midwest. The bass are shallow. We're catching them pretty good. Let's see if we can catch a few more.
How far out was he?
Probably 10 feet offshore.
He was.
Yeah, he was right in these weeds.
Yep.
There's a lot more going on in Fountain Lake than just fishing. There's plenty of water-related activity. This stuff wouldn't have been going on a few years ago because of the water quality, but now everyone's enjoying the lake. That's a win for everyone.
Ooh. That's a nice one. Oh boy, look at that guy. It's really a nice one. Yeah.
Hoist him in. I got him.
Oh,
Yeah.
no kid. Now you were telling me, Jason, in tournaments up here, what's it take to win?
Well, in past years, it's taken anywhere up to 18 and a half pounds with 5 fish. So a 3.5 pound average to win a tournament here on Fountain Lake. But that's in the fall when the fishing's a little bit better. The trees aren't full of leaves. It's a lot easier to get underneath them. So
Jason explained where the bass live in Fountain Lake.
there is no offshore structure for bass on this lake. It's all shoreline structure, wood, a lot of docks. There's really no weeds to speak of, so you're not fishing weed lines at all. It's pretty much bare bones bass fishing right on the shore.
Lance, you were telling me you don't fish bass out here on Fountain Lake very much, but you fish all the other stuff. There's a lot of different species in here, it sounds like.
Catch a lot of panfish, crappies, bluegills, sunnies. Catfish are huge catfish in this lake. There's just lots of them. I've seen 10, 12 pounders out here. Walleye fishery is getting better, and there's some decent northerns.
The Fountain Lake Sportsman's Club has been instrumental in the rebirth of the lakes around Albert Lea. Lance told me about some of their efforts.
The shore fishing from Fountain Lake is incredible opportunities. With the exception of a couple of very small areas, the entire lake is public access. So there's only a little bit of private area, so your opportunities are great.
Is that a better one, Jason?
Yeah.
Is it?
It's a little bit better.
A little bit better. Yeah.
It's a keeper.
Is there a length limit on this lake?
It's just like Minnesota, 12-inch minimum.
When you say keeper, you mean like for a tournament?
Yep. Keeper in Minnesota for bass is 12 inches.
I see.
We kept fishing and we kept catching. Then Anthony Charlton and Larry Anderson got in the boat to show me their favorite spots in Fountain Lake. Anthony is a Fountain Lake bass chaser. Larry is a member of the Fountain Lake Sportsman's Club. Anthony put us on fish right away.
Look at that guy. He's not so little, I guess.
Oh, he's got some meat to it.
Yeah. A lot of stuff in there. That's a better one. Huh. He whacked that spinnerbait. He really wanted it.
Then Larry got bit.
Well, it's got to be fairly good. He's got a big old crankbait on.
Whoa, where was he, Larry? Right at the edge of those pads?
It.
Was he really?
Yep.
How big is he? I don't know. It's got all those hooks in it, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Here, I'm gonna net him, Larry. All right. Just because we don't want those hooks in your hand, right? Unless you do want the hooks in your hand.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Well, you haven't bled yet today. You might
No,
be
I
dead.
haven't bled yet today. That's usually the sign that things are going well for me.
So far. And he was right in the edge of those pads, wasn't he?
Yes.
Did you see him hit?
Yeah,
Isn't that fun?
that is.
You know, something I've noticed here on this lake, there's a lot of stained water and a lot of clear water. So depending on the day, you know, you can fish stained water or clear water tactics. Clear day, stained water, cloudy day, clear water. When we come back, we'll see if the bass are still shallow and if they're still biting. Stay tuned. Boy, days like this are just made for fishing. Let's get back out there. Oh, there you go. These guys just seem to be cruising out here, Anthony.
They're,
Just, you know,
it's a good spot.
one here, one there. Is that does that hold all summer, or is that a...
Typically, they hang up in here because you get a lot of bait fish up in here that come up here and feed
Yes?
on the algae blooms and stuff.
Oh, shoot. I missed mine. Larry, I know that the Fountain Lake Sportsman's Club is very involved in kids' activities. How come?
Well, we feel it's important to get the kids hooked on fishing so they have a good avenue of respect for the outdoors.
And what kind of activities are they that you do there?
We have the Take a Kid Fishing. We also have fishing seminars in the winter. We have the Kids Fishing Expo. We've done seminars with the kids for tying knots, identifying fish, and things like this.
And why do you think it's important that young people get introduced to fishing?
Well, it's something they can carry for the rest of their life, and it's a good family event, and it helps bring their family values into focus.
Another way they're improving the fishing in the Albert Lea area is through rough fish elimination. Jared Stricker works with the Shell Rock River Watershed District and explains what they're doing regarding carp in this area.
This is an electric carp barrier. We're trying to stop the carp from migrating out of Fountain Lake and getting into Pickerel and Mud Lake.
And how come you're doing that?
Carp are really bad for water quality. They stir up the bottom, the sediments in the lake, and then they resuspend phosphorus, and then that's what causes our lakes to get so green in the summer. The long-term effect is we're trying to start at the top of our watershed and work our way down, controlling the carp, and with that comes water clarity. Pickerel is at the top of the chain, so we're trying to send the clean water, the clear water, downstream to Fountain and make our way down.
Well, we're moving to our next spot. Let's make a quick run up the road to Cabela's in Owatonna to see the new line of live forage baits from Northland Fishing Tackle.
Danny, I've been looking a lot at these live forage series of baits from Northland. These are really lifelike, aren't they?
Yeah, they have a great crippled baitfish minnow action when you're jigging them underneath the ice. They also have a high definition real fish image on them, which makes them really great. You know, the crappies, walleyes, everything, just love these new live forage.
Yep. And they come in several different styles?
They come in several different styles. We have the Moxie minnow, where it almost looks like just a real baitfish wounded underneath the ice. They also come in the fish fry minnow, which gives it a real action underneath the ice, spinning back and forth.
Kind of a horizontal motion.
Yeah, more of a horizontal rather than vertical.
And they come in a lot of different real baitfish images.
Yeah, they're actually real fish. Match the hatch is their whole idea with these, and they really did a great job when they got those images.
Yeah, I think 9 different colors.
Yes.
Yeah.
Stop by Cabela's and check out the live forage selection that we have.
Boy, those live forage baits look like the real thing. The guys at Cabela's will be able to help you select the ones that will be best for your needs. Now back to Albert Lea. In addition to the fishing, Albert Lea has some other things you might want to check out. Susie Peterson tells about some of those things.
Albert Lea is known as the land between the lakes. Why? Because we have two lakes. Fountain Lake, which is about 560 acres, as you can see right now, and it also connects with a channel to Albert Lea Lake, which is about 2,600 acres. Both lakes have lots of fish in. We have our downtown Albert Lea, which is one of the top 10 historical commercial districts in the state of Minnesota. Wonderful attractions. We have the Historical Museum, wonderful golf courses. We have 2 beautiful golf courses.
Albert Lea is also a blue zone. Susie tells us what that's all about.
Have you ever heard of Dan Buettner and his book Blue Zones? We were part of a project last year, and we are a certified city. What did we do? Well, we became healthier. We had walking moais. We had 700 people walk in groups. We had restaurant pledges that would have a healthy menu. We have wonderful community gardens. We started with about 50 gardens. We have 70 in one garden, another plot with 40 gardens, and then we also have school gardens now too, to teach the kids about healthy snacks and healthy foods.
Albert Lea is home to the Freeborn County Historical Museum. Marion Ross, Mrs. Cunningham on Happy Days, and rock and roller Eddie Cochran are also from Albert Lea. Pat Molso tells us about the museum.
Eddie Cochran is a big attraction. It draws people from not only all over the United States, but from England, Australia, Montreal. And it's because he has been gone for 50 years, but he still has a huge following. So it's an exciting part of our museum to have people come here. The Marion Ross exhibit in our museum is very vital to our homecoming people too, because she is a huge part of our community and still continues to support us by donating her truck to raise money for our museum exhibit or museum expansion, and also to have people of all ages, because she is SpongeBob's grandma's voice and she does things that are happening today. It reaches a lot of generations. The village sort of depicts the turn of the century around 1900, and we have a lot of firsts from our county here. We have the first log cabin, we have 2 of the home one-room schoolhouses, we have a parsonage, we have a church that was built in 1878, as well as we have our own hardware store, shoe shop, bank, and the list goes on. We have 18 different businesses here, just like it would have been about 1900.
Jason Howland really knows how to catch bass on Fountain Lake. Let's get back out there. Okay, we know we can catch bass in Fountain Lake in the early summer, but when we were fishing with Jason, he mentioned that fall can be even better. I just had to check that out. We got together again with Jason in September, and just like he said, the fishing was pretty darn good. There's one.
That one? Yep. Whoa! Look at this guy, Jason.
Good one?
Yeah. I like it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a fatty.
It is. I'm swinging him in.
Nice job.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice one.
Boy, there's a lot of shoreline cover here, isn't there?
Yeah.
And there's fish. I mean, they can be anywhere.
Yep.
Yeah, good.
I thought that spinnerbait was going to be the deal.
We're catching them better on spinnerbaits this time. I'm throwing a Northland Reed Runner with a 4-inch power grub tail. I'm using a lightning rod flipping rod with a Revo reel spooled with 17-pound test Trilene XT. This is a good setup for throwing spinnerbaits.
Oh!
Another good one. Nice one.
He was right next to that dock there. Boy, these are nice fat ones, aren't they? Yeah. These guys eat well up here. Huh. He was right along the side of that dock. You know, when you're fishing a spinnerbait, you want to keep it as close to that dock as you can. You know, just parallel it right along that dock there. Fish? Yep. There you go. Look at that guy. He was over the dock too, wasn't he?
Right when I hit that post.
Yeah. Kind of rang the doorbell for him. Yeah. These are all nice looking fish, aren't they?
They're really fat.
Conditions have changed a little bit since we were here last time, Jason. The water has got a little more stain to it, and that affects how you fish, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Last time we were fishing more finesse baits, and the water was really clean, and now it's got a little more murky look to it, so we're fishing spinner baits and got that cloud cover. So. Fat sucker, though, isn't it?
Yeah. He reminds me of me.
This is a good one. Oh, that's a real good one.
Same place, wasn't it almost?
Oh yeah, this is a good one.
Look at that guy. Whoa, that is a nice one. You know what I'm gonna do, Jason?
Yeah.
I'm gonna help you out here.
All right. There's what we're looking for.
Look at that guy.
There's what we're looking for, Bob.
Yep. Yep. That's a nice one.
That's what we're looking for.
A lot of them that size in here?
There's quite a few of them.
Are
But look at how fat he is. That's the fall feed right there.
Yeah.
That's probably 3 1/4, 3 1/2.
Yep. Ha. Good job. Jason, last time we were here, it was a bright, sunshiny day. The water was clear, and we had to fish really close to the cover. Things are different today, aren't they?
Yeah, you're right, Bob. It's totally different now. We've got cloud covers, you can see. The water's a lot more stained. It was gin clear when we were here the last time. And the spinnerbait is the bait to throw when you've got overcast conditions and murkier water.
And that's true anywhere you go. You know, I mean, anywhere you go, that spinnerbait in stained water is a good way to go. You know, that blade just throws some flash and some vibration, and it just helps the fish find the bait a little bit easier in stained water. In clear water, it'll call fish from further away, but typically, like you said, clear water, the fish will be right close to cover. Today, they're spread out more. We want to cover water quickly, and that spinnerbait really lets us do that. Well, I'm glad we went back in September. We didn't get to fish very long, but we caught them good, and the average size was really nice. You know, this is really a good thing. A sportsman's group and a variety of people in Albert Lea decided they were going to do something to improve one of their natural assets. You don't have to enjoy fishing or boating or anything like that to appreciate what the Fountain Lake Sportsman's Club has done to enhance the lives of the residents and visitors to Albert Lea. Because of their efforts, anyone can go down to the lake, sit on a bench or ride their bike or walk around the lake and really appreciate it. Whether you want to enjoy the fountains, or maybe watch a family of ducks paddle around, or just do whatever people like to do around water. The folks around Albert Lea certainly appreciate this. And anyone who visits Albert Lea will...
Fall fishing on Fountain Lake is really good, and it's good to know that through the efforts of a lot of people like the Fountain Lake Sportsman's Club, we can bring a lake back when it has kind of deteriorated a little bit. We can get it back to a really good place. Hey, for all of us at Fishing the Midwest, thanks for stopping by. Be nice to one another. We'll see you again next time.